Hello, friends. Happy Digital Pride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for taking some of your evening to join us. Let me switch over here. Hey. Happy Digital Pride, friends. I feel like I should wear, do I have, never mind. I'll bring out Carby, though. You can bring out Carby for Digital Pride. I'll scooch over here. Boop, boop, boop. Hey, yo. Welcome in. I am super duper excited for the show we're going to be running today. I have been given the incredible opportunity to interview some amazing Final Fantasy XIV players who are a part of the LGBTQIA+ community to share some of their stories. Thank you for raiding on in, friends. Am I crazy, or is only my left ear hearing her? You know, what would a stream be without a little bit of some sort of technical difficulty? Is that true? Only one channel audio. Did that fix it? Does that fix it? I don't know if that fixes it. Tell me if that fixed it. We are fundraising this month for the Charter Project and wanted to come here and spread some love. Bless. Okay, I'm so sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Glad we could fix that before we get started. And thank you all for coming in. I'm going to introduce myself real quick, and then we will have a chance to move into the show. So basically, to introduce the show as well, the It Gets Better Project is holding its 4th annual It Gets Better, a Digital Pride Experience, which is a series of Pride streams on both Twitch and TikTok for LGBTQ+ youth who may not be able to celebrate Pride in person. This year's IGBP will be streaming every Thursday in June at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I am so glad to be a part of it. There's also going to be It Gets Better Project ambassadors streaming all month long, so make sure to pop a follow on the channel to catch all the wonderful streams and support the amazing folks who are going to be streaming. Today we're going to be highlighting the FFXIV community, who have discovered a lot about their identity and just kind of hear their story with regards to their experiences in 14. 14 has an incredible LGBTQIA+ community, but of course, any kind of community comes with its own challenges as well. So I've invited these folks to tell their story, both positive and negative, and just really share what their unique perspective and experiences in the game look like. So, thank you so much, Dirty Pixel. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okie dokie. So for me personally, honestly, 14 has been so natural for me. I really started my experience exploring my own identity through Twitch, and I kind of just got lucky that 14 ended up being the game that my community kind of revolves around, because as I've explored my own identity and kind of like come out about being demisexual and pansexual on Twitch and learning more about myself and learning from others, everybody's always been so accepting, and it's kind of something that I reflect on now, and I'm like, you know, that might not have been the case everywhere, but overall I've just had such an incredible experience. I've found so many, you know, every Pride I've been able to engage in like different celebrations of who I am within the game, and I just think that's so special. I don't think that that has happened in every other game I've played. So I just think that like the community itself really builds the space in a way that makes it really special. So I'm excited for y'all to hear from some of the folks who help kind of provide that. I'm going to be switching over to the gameplay cam here. Our first guest for tonight is going to be Nari, who is a raider in the game. So I'm going to be calling them soon. But first off, I think we're going to go over to Charlian. They mentioned that Charlian is one of their favorite places. So I thought it would be really cozy to go and chat with them over there. Y'all are, of course, welcome to come visit as we're storytelling if you are in game as well. I am on the Coral server on Crystal, so if you want to kind of sneak in, just of course, try not to be disruptive or anything. Not that I think y'all would, but feel free to come in and maybe give a toast or something. Just don't spam any skills or anything because we're trying to keep it cozy and focused on the guest. All right, let me head over to Charlie and Nova. Thank you for gifting subs on over. All right, I am going to be calling up Nari real quick, and I'll give them a chance to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about them. Hello. Oh, hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Good to have you on. Thank you so much for joining today.
Yeah. Thanks for having.
Are you over in Charlian right now? I went to the Archeon Aetherite.
Oh, I'm in the city. I'm down in the last stand right now.
Oh, okay. Wait, why am I in Labyrinthos? My brain.
It's close.
I literally said I'm in Charlian.
You're a couple miles below the ground. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I'm on my way. Last stand. Okay, let me take the little aetherite over there. So would you like to introduce yourself a bit? Just name, pronouns, what you do in game, all that good stuff to start out.
Yeah, sure. I'm Nari. Pronouns are she, they. I'm trans femme, non-binary, and an asexual lesbian as well. In 14, I do a little bit of everything, but primarily I'm a raider. I do hardcore raids, and I'm on a team that's been participating in the world race for about a year now. My team is Kindred. I'm a tank for them, and we've put up some pretty solid results in Endwalker. We were the first publicly streamed team to clear Abyssos Savage, as well as the Omega Protocol Ultimate. And last week, the race for Abyssos Savage, we put up a decent result. We're not super happy with it, but we did okay, and we're looking to do better moving into the next expansion as well.
That's awesome. Are you? I'm over here at the last stand right now. Where is your character?
Off in the corner. I'm at a table.
Okay. Oh, I see you. I found you. Cute. I'm gonna sit down. That is super duper cool. So just for context for those watching the stream, basically today I want to start out with kind of the folks who are coming on the show sharing their own story of their experiences in the game. I've left it really open-ended. You can obviously talk about the positives, the negatives, whatever kind of comes to mind when you think about how your identity has affected your time both in game and as a raider, especially because I feel like that brings an extremely unique perspective from you. So thank you for coming on and being willing to chat about that. And you can,
yeah, of course,
take the next 5 to 10 minutes to kind of tell your own story, and then we'll do a little chatting period. So
sure, sounds good. Yeah, like I mentioned, I'm a hardcore raider now, involved in the world race, but I didn't obviously start out that way. And what I want to talk about is kind of twofold. First is what this game has done for me and my growth as a person, both in general and as and being trans. And the second is what it's like to be LGBT in the raiding community, of course. So yeah, if we look back 4 years ago, I was still questioning my identity at that time. Like I knew I was LGBT. I thought I might be non-binary, but I had no real confidence or anything. I was scared of my identity and what it could mean for my life IRL and interacting with people. And that's kind of the headspace I was in when I ended up starting playing this game. My friend group at the time, it was about right around the start of the Shadowbringers expansion. My friend group at the time decided to pick up this game. We had a few other friends that were already at the end game, so I got the opportunity to watch them play the Savage Raids, and that really got me excited to get in there and do that for myself. But fortunately for me, my friend group and I decided to play the game from zero for ourselves, no skips, the full experience, and I immediately fell in love with everything about it. The story, the world, the community, the game as a whole. I eventually did make it to end game and fell even more in love with the hard content, the raids, just like I knew I would, and that's continued to this day, obviously. But the amount that I've loved everything else about this game shocked me, kind of. This is my first real MMO, and I didn't expect to like it that much. But as I was playing, as I was leveling up, I noticed kind of like something about this game, something about me. I was not ready for the level of immersion that this game offers. Like, the story can seem detached from reality sometimes. It's this fantastic heroic adventure, but for one, it's really good, and it's also, but it's these real struggles, these real emotions. It's an impactful story, and having a character that represents me in the center of it, the immersion was just incredible. It's not some pre-named hero. It wasn't a movie. That's my character that I made. And I realized that outside of the story, I could also just exist in this world as that character, as that representation of me. I could interact with other players, do the side content, raid, just exist. Um, it's it's weird to describe because it's obviously a feature of every MMO and just kind of a fact of being somewhat anonymous online. But this was the first time that I really got immersed like this. And there's something special about games, about existing in a world with a purpose as yourself. And there's just something about 14 in particular. People get really attached, and I got personally got very attached to my character and my story. And those first few years, I lived and breathed this game. And when I realized how attached I was to my character, they started feeling less like a representation of me and more like an extension of me. And I decided to just go with it and let it happen. I let my character be me, and I allowed myself to experiment. No longer would my character be the random cat girl that I picked on a whim on day one, with a generic fantasy name I'd stolen from previous less impactful games. I used the in-game tools to change my appearance around, try new things, and importantly, let myself reflect on how that made me feel. I explored my personal identity through the vehicle of my FFXIV character, unaffected by the IRL worries that plagued me and prevented me from doing so before, like physical appearance, voice, and presenting to other people, and the potential consequences of presenting as LGBT IRL, the good and the bad. But I was so scared of that, and 14 gave me the vehicle to explore that without those worries, because majority of the time I was in this game and I didn't have to care. I could just be myself, whatever that meant in the moment. Even labels didn't matter. And it started creeping outside the game too. At this time, I was meeting new people. I was joining new raid groups, playing the game, trying to get better and better and better. And I'd meet a new group with a new name and new pronouns. And because they interacted mostly with my in-game self, I had no worries or qualms about doing so. And in all that experimentation over many, many months, I landed on the character you see right now, the Nari Nari, this androgynous little purple gremlin. And while being them, I found my true self, or at least much closer to it than I had ever been before. And being her, existing as her, it let me build up the confidence to let me be that as well, even outside the game and this community. My IRL name is Nari now, but that was technically my character's name first. I'm named after my character, and I've been called many things for that. I've been called cringe, weird, obsessed, addicted, but an equal number of people think it's cool. And personally, I call it real. It's an homage to how she's helped me find myself and my self-esteem. And the best part of it all is that with where I am today, the confidence I now have in myself, if the worst were to happen and she was gone tomorrow, if the servers shut off for whatever reason, I'd be okay, because Nari's still here sitting in my chair. She's no longer just like in the game anymore. But yeah, so this game gave me that outlet I needed to experiment with my identity, but that still wouldn't have been possible if not for this game's community as well. The 14 community is it's many things, but one of the things it definitely is accepting of LGBT identities. Fear and hatred exist as always. There's bad eggs everywhere, but they're not tolerated. And in general, the kind of toxicity that can exist in other games, which might cause someone to suppress themselves when interacting with the community, it just doesn't exist. People are open and accepted and accepting. There's also just many places to go to interact directly with the LGBT part of the community if you want that or need that. There's guilds, free companies, in-game chats, discords. There's even entire servers of this game that are known for their queer population. And when I was unsure, experimenting, this general air of acceptance meant I was never afraid to meet new people as myself. And that is a huge part of helping me build the confidence I have now. I mentioned joining new raid groups with a new name and new pronouns that didn't match what people expect from hearing my voice. And the vast majority of the time, that's gone great. I don't often do more than just list my pronouns in my nickname, and everyone gets it and respects it. I do even have one funny story a couple years ago of one particular short-lived group was together about a month just to help a new friend get a quick clear of some of the older fights, some of the older ultimates. Um, and I found out later, after that group was over, that a stranger in that group was actually rather homophobic and transphobic. So in that group's time, they were respectful of my identity the whole time. The community and the group's vibe had pressured them to suppress their hatred. And sometime later, like a year later, I had caught wind of them making some crass statements in a more permanent group of theirs that got them immediately kicked, and I haven't heard about them since. Like I said, this community does not tolerate the intolerant, and it's wonderful for that. But besides that one incident, the general positive vibe is continued even as I entered the hardcore scene last year. I've gotten better and better at the game. I've wanted to keep improving. I've wanted to compete. I've wanted to be the best that I can be and be in a team that matches that. And my current group, Kindred, is it's perfect, honestly. It's a great atmosphere. My identity is respected, but it barely even matters, as it should be. We're simply here to play the game together and well, and I can do so comfortable in my own existence, and it's a wonderful time. I will say though, it's not all perfect everywhere. Like I said, there's bad eggs and everywhere, and the raid optimization in the world race community is just by nature more competitive. You get a higher density of players that are less attached to the game and the community at large. They're just here to raid and do nothing else. And the positive acceptance atmosphere is there, but it's not quite as pervasive. It's still great overall, but there's definitely moments that you catch glimpses of not so good things every now and again. This is not the time nor the place for callouts, really, but I will mention that there are prominent teams in the race scene that really need to do better, in my opinion. Zero tolerance for the intolerant needs to be a hard line that extends all the way up into the top groups, and we need to push for that even harder than we already do. But yeah, and quick summary: this game in this community has been the perfect environment for me personally to explore my own identity, to go from someone who's questioning to someone who's fully confident, both in game and outside. I can present comfortably IRL, in game, everywhere, and the hardcore community, the raid community, continues to enable that in the same way, and I'm very glad for it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, I forgot to hit push to talk. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for sharing your story. That's honestly incredible. I relate a lot. I actually started out as a random cat girl myself, and then fell in love with the Lalafell later on. So I do understand that journey to some extent.
Oh yeah.
Because it really does become a part of yourself and how you like representing yourself, and it's really beautiful in that way. And I think your name is really beautiful. I'm sorry that anybody has ever given you a hard time about that.
I appreciate that.
I do kind of want to delve specifically into rating, since I really think that is like such a unique perspective. I know in terms of my personal community, I do raid, but in a more like casual mid-core kind of environment. So I run into a lot of folks that are interested in raiding. And I also have a large like LGBTQI plus community. So I kind of wanted to ask specifically, like you, as somebody who has raided in a hardcore environment, like what is some advice you would give to people trying to get into raiding and who might be afraid of like, you know, maybe their identity coming under fire or running into that like bad egg environment? Like what would be your advice towards them?
It's kind of hard, right? Because my first piece of advice is to be confident in yourself, but as I was talking about, that wasn't where I started, right? So it's definitely hard, but that's the easiest way. Is if you join a new group, if you find a new group that's at the skill level that you're looking for, and has the same goals that you do, and you are confident in yourself, they have to accept you, right? And if they don't, then screw them and leave and go find another group, because there's plenty of groups out there to find that will be accepting of you. There's this community is just in general, it's so accepting that you'll always be able to find something that fits you.
Yeah, that 100% makes sense.
Yeah,
I kind of give people the same advice with PF too, that like you'll know pretty quickly if someone is just toxic or not accepting, and
absolutely.
just like leaving is the best thing you can do, because no, you don't have to tolerate that behavior. Um,
You don't even necessarily need to point to something specific. Like if the vibe of a group is off, you are better off going and finding somewhere else that fits you better.
yeah, absolutely, 100%. That makes a lot of sense. What job do you play in raiding?
I for my raid team, I play all four of the tanks, whichever one we need at the given moment. The nature of my team trying to be the literal best means we do actually have to like ascribe to the meta for as little as that means to most players. Um,
Mm,
so this last race last week, I played Dark Knight. I that probably, if I had to pick, that's probably my best tank at the moment. My favorite is Paladin at the moment, but I will play all four depending on what we actually need.
yeah.
Outside of tank, just for fun, when I'm not in my serious raid group moment, I like all the melees, especially Dragoon. And I'm planning on learning to play Black Mage. I actually have a goal before the next expansion comes out to clear Dragon Song's Reprise and the Omega Protocol on Black Mage if I can.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, for anyone who may not know like as much about Final Fantasy 14 in reference to what Nari said, there is technically like of course a meta in this game, but because it's like such a small difference between a lot of the jobs and raids are tuned so that everything can clear, it's mainly something that exists for the people who are like really, really hardcore raiding and trying to clear things first or the fastest or anything under that kind of like thing, because that's like where it kind of applies, where you need that like very like optimization like to the T sort of thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and literally anything can clear and can clear and do the content. Just play what you're comfortable with and like. The tanks, especially, all four of the tanks right now are extremely close. Like for some of the optimization we're planning to do in the coming weeks, the difference between me playing Dark Knight and me playing Warrior is literally the number of raid buffs that exist in the rest of the team. Like that's the difference. If there weren't any raid buffs, it would be a coin flip for me on which one I actually play. So you can play whatever you want.
Yeah, I love Paladin too. Do you have like any moment in game, either inside or outside of raiding, that has kind of stuck out to you as like a moment when you truly felt welcomed in your identity?
Honestly, I think that moment would probably be the when I found my first raid group for Endwalker. So not the raid group I'm currently in, but the one I played in for the first tier, Asphodelos. Like just the moment I joined that group and joined the Discord, and it was exactly the situation I described earlier, where it's like my identity was respected. I put my pronouns in my nickname, and everyone accepted it, and there wasn't like I didn't have to say anything specific. They just respected it for free. And then I noticed that it didn't matter. We were here to raid, and I could be myself comfortably in that, and it wasn't like a big point of contention or anything. And it was just accepted for free, and that was really the moment when I realized how good this community really is.
Yeah, I'm glad you had that experience. I know we're kind of coming towards the end of our time here, but you said that you stream your rating, right?
I do, yeah. Anytime my main group is doing anything, be it prep or just for fun, or optimization, or especially the race, I've been streaming. And I'll occasionally stream outside of that too if I'm doing something like Deep Dungeon solo or random other side content that exists in this game. I'll stream sometimes too.
That's awesome. I know we have your Twitter linked in the chat, but I'll link your Twitch here just in case anyone wants to follow and see some heckin' awesome rating skills and go chat with Nari further over there. Thank you so much for coming on. Do you have any like final closing words?
Trans rights.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of speaking to the choir here, but I like to say that at the end of every interview I give.
No, it's perfect. Perfect final words. Thank you. Thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
You take care. Okie dokie. So that was Nari. That was so wonderful. What an absolutely incredible freaking story. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us, Nari, and sharing your story in game. Our next guest is going to be Lori, who is in the chat. So Lori, you're welcome to hop into the voice at any time when you're ready. I'm going to head over to Lori's house, actually, which is where we're going to be meeting. So let me pop on over to Boobadoop, the lavender beds. Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am so good. Thank you. How are you?
I am doing great. Lovely to be here.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. So, is your house on Coral?
Yes.
Okay.
It's literally, I think it's actually the same location as your FC house.
Amazing. We live in the same place, but just different instance.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, I am heading on over. But of course, if you just like to give a first basic introduction of just what you do, who you are, and your pronouns and whatnot, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my name is Lori. I create content here on Twitch and also on YouTube. And I have been playing Final Fantasy XIV for like 10 years now. And I occasionally, well, I mean, like I've been trying to stream it more often now, but there was a time where I was streaming it pretty much all of the time because I fell in love with this game. I've even been playing it like before I was actually creating content. So, yeah, and I don't really do anything. I'm more of a casual player, so I spend a lot of time just hanging out and doing like more casual. I love Triple Triad. I'm like obsessed with Triple Triad.
Yes. Do you have the mount?
I don't yet. I'm working on it.
Oh, hello. We love the Pop-Tart. I went through an arc of working on it.
Yes, I am working on that, but it is so much.
It is, and everyone has that one thing that they run into that gives them a hard time. For me, I had to do like 40 runs of Paglathon for some reason.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. But it became a good joke.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much, it's just mostly me doing more casual stuff. I have my own FC and we do a lot of like really chill events. And yeah, it's just I just love hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go sit in the gazebo. Or you want to go inside?
Yeah,
Okay,
we can
let's
actually go.
inside.
We have like a little study in here that's like super cozy.
Oh, you're prepared. Jam on Toast Mountain Joyers. I know, right? We love our Pop-Tart. Oh, I love let's go Pride Fish. Hey-o.
Yes, that is so important.
Hell yeah. Oh, this is
so
so cozy.
We've got an audience as well.
Hi, friends. Oh my goodness. Everybody is so comfy. I love it. I'll post the location of Lori's house in the chat if y'all want to come visit and get cozy with us.
Oh yeah, everyone is welcome.
Lavender beds, Ward 5, plot 36. All right, let me sit down. And then with that, I would love to get started. I know, kind of similar to Nari, if you just want to share however you'd like to share your personal story with your identity and how it's affected your time in game, and then we can do a little bit of chatting afterwards whenever you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, kind of like I said, I've been playing since before I was even creating content, and I actually got introduced to the game from one of my friends that like I've known for years. And before I was playing this game, I actually was playing a lot of World of Warcraft. That was like my game that I spent so much time with for years. I'd been playing since like Vanilla WoW, and I was not really comfortable at that time, like with I don't know, basically my identity. I think that I ended up like pushing so much back because I kind of grew up in like a family and around people that weren't very accepting. So it was really hard for me to kind of figure out and explore who I was. And I think what made it even harder is that I did play a lot of games that had more of like a toxic community. And it was really scary to be involved in like the gaming world where there was definitely not a lot of acceptance in some of these communities and some of these games. So when I started playing Final Fantasy 14, I immediately noticed like a bit of a difference with the community here. Everybody just seemed really accepting, even in the really early days, and it just felt like everyone was kind of just I don't know, everyone just felt comfortable with who they were. And I think throughout my journey with this game, I had noticed so many like such a different experience in general for how people I guess express themselves versus like some of the other games that I came from. And I think that really ended up inspiring me. And I think what really made a difference is that when I started going through the main story quest, Ishtola was like a really important part of like my discovery, I think, because like I really loved her. Also, I think I forgot to mention as well, but I am bisexual and I'm also demisexual, and my pronouns are she, her. So at the time, I hadn't come out or anything, but I felt such strong feelings towards Ishtola. And, you know, it's like one of those things where it was like, do I just want to be her? Like, I think maybe I just want to be her, but that's not really what it was. um, so I think what really helped me is kind of like going through this journey with my character for the last 10 years and Ishtola like being right next to me. Like I know she's not real, but I feel like, you know, she's been with me the whole time. And I think that over the years, I've met so many amazing people who have felt so comfortable with themselves. So many people in this room here have inspired me who have like found themselves through their characters and are able to express their true identities in this little world. And it it has just been so inspiring. Like this game has really inspired me to just kind of accept who I am because I've never seen that like growing up and like you know in other games. It just it's very rare to see that. Like seeing like the Pride Parade to the most recent Pride Parade that happened, like seeing all those pictures and stuff, it just like I don't know, it made me really emotional because like what other game really does that? Like you don't really see that. And I think that just seeing so many people in my community come together and accept each other and watching all of them just be themselves, it's this game has done so much for me in regards to being open with who I am. And I never thought that a game would ever be able to do that for me. So
Sorry, I was muted.
oh no, you're fine.
That is so awesome. Thank you for sharing all that. I totally relate. Ishtola is hot.
Yes. All of these years I was like, oh, maybe I just kind of want to be her. But no, I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna like pretend that I'm married to her all of these years. She's my wife, definitely.
That is totally fair. I think for me, Yatsuyu is my wife.
Oh yeah,
People
absolutely.
are always
I
like, "What about her morals?" And I'm like, "No, no, no, it doesn't matter."
yeah, absolutely. Like, was she like, like, was she really bad? I mean, I
No.
look how hot she is. She's amazing. Like, we can ignore that. It's fine.
Right. So true. No, that's amazing though. I know that like a lot of folks, it is pretty common sometimes to like discover parts of your identity through stories that kind of like help you like recognize those feelings that are deep inside of you. I know you mentioned running your free company in game and attending some Pride events and whatnot. Do you have a favorite Pride event that you've attended in game?
I love the Pride parade that usually happens on I can't remember the server. I didn't attend the recent one because I was a bit busy, but I know that so many people in my community actually attended and posted pictures, and it just made me so emotional just to see all of these pictures and seeing how many people attended and how like happy everyone was to be there. And it's just I love it. Like there's not very many games, at least that I've seen or like that I've played, that like do anything like that. It's so accepted.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you had overall positive experiences with your interactions with people through the game with regards to your identity?
Yes, I have. I think like Nari mentioned it, like obviously there are bad eggs in this game, but I feel like it's so rare, it feels like. And especially in comparison to some other game communities, it's just it feels really great. And I don't ever sometimes like some people get like afraid of running stuff with, like pugs and whatnot because of I don't know, different things. But I have rarely ran into anyone who has ever I don't know, who's really made me feel uncomfortable. Although I know that those people exist. It's just kind of wild how rare it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love this from Nari. I had a friend tell me once that if you have a shred of queerness, the game will drag it out kicking and screaming.
Oh my gosh, that's literally so true
Yeah.
because I really think Ishtolo is like one of the things that kind of like definitely dragged it out of me.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That's awesome. Yeah, they do some awesome pride events in this game. I know last year, the aquarium hosted like a fishing for that rainbow fish that
Oh my
Lori
god.
has in her house. And that was really, really fun because I love those little like rainbow lakes in Yansha.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that I didn't know that that actually existed. That is so cool.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's really cool.
Oh.
Are you married in game?
Yes, I actually am. I'm married to my real life husband, but like he is so supportive of me. Like I don't take any G poses with him hardly. I take like more G poses of like me and Ashtola than I do of me and him.
You just tell him to make his character be like, just make her look like Ishtola.
Honestly, he has like an alt that I'm like, I don't know why I'm still married to like your male Miko when I could marry your alt that is like much hotter.
That's amazing. Yeah, we did a marriage on the It Gets Better channel a month or two ago because it really is awesome how in this game any two characters get married.
Yeah, I recently, oh my gosh, my community, big shout out to Aiden is a fairy and Dulcioria. They actually did their vow renewal. I think it was last weekend, and I actually streamed it, and it was so wholesome, and I love it so much. Like I just love seeing the weddings, and especially the gay weddings. They're my favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any other kind of like experiences within the LGBTQIA plus community and game that you would like to share?
I don't have any specifically. I think for me, especially over the last few years when I have become so comfortable with my identity and I've just felt really secure since I
Yeah.
started streaming 14 again. I I have had my FC grow And I feel like the people who are in the FC now, it feels like a little family, like, and we keep adopting people who, like, have either, not had people to play with on their server, or, we just keep adopting people, and the majority of us are LGBT, and honestly, I've never felt so excited about playing this game. Like, I've always loved it, but I've never felt more excited and more accepted, and, like, it hasn't felt as comfortable as it does now, having my FC but be what it is, where it's been so great. And I think that for me, I'm just really thankful that my community has felt so safe and everyone is able to be themselves in my FC. And I don't know, I just love it.
Oh, no, absolutely. I totally understand that. And I love Jared saying we have a little found family growing.
We literally do. We adopt people who are like, I don't have anyone to play with on my server, or, I lost, like, my friends don't really play anymore, or, nothing is really keeping them where they are. So we just keep adopting, like people who are looking for a little family, or a little group of people who will accept them. So
That's incredible. Well, it sounds like you have a really awesome group of folks, and I love that they all came out and lots of folks came out to hang out here. The space
they're
is
all very
so
supportive.
cozy. You would you mind if we did a little tour of the rest of the FC house? I'd love to see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is our little secret study.
Uh-huh.
And I definitely didn't do. Oh my goodness.
There she
Speaking of
is, waifu.
Oh my gosh, hello. The honor.
That's incredible.
This is just a little area where all of the stuff we can buy. But I didn't design the house. It was actually one of our other our other staff member did it, and I think that she did a great job.
Oh
but
yeah, it's beautiful. I love all the colors.
Yeah, I am not a designer. I
Me
don't know
neither.
how I don't know how some people do it. They're like magical with designing.
Oh yeah, I am 100% the same way, and both my personal house and our FC house are designed by like other folks I know, and it just makes me so happy to go in them, but I take no credit.
Yeah. It's incredible. We are currently in the process of designing our basement because we are planning an event for whenever we do the Make It Rain, like whenever that happens. I have like an idea to do like a triple triad tournaments, and everyone dresses up as like their favorite like card shark or like gambling person.
Oh my gosh,
So,
that sounds awesome.
yeah.
We
I think
did
it would
a triple triad tournament where we put like a boxing ring in the middle, and then you had to like stand in it to like play your match.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
So yeah, feel free to steal that idea, because that was one of my officers' ideas, and it was hilariously amazing having the two people playing triple triad in a boxing ring.
That's a fantastic idea. I think we're gonna have to implement that for sure.
And I'll have to hear. I want to attend this event for sure.
Yes, you are definitely welcome. I'm very excited for it.
Well, it's looking great down here so far. I love these new these came with the Loperit right there, the tribal quest, I think.
Yeah, they are. They're really fun. I definitely think that they add, like, if you're doing some kind of area with like a dance club or something, I think they're perfect. Plus they're kind of rainbowy.
I know,
so-
I was just thinking that. I was like, are we hosting a pride party down here? What's going on?
Right. Exactly. It's fantastic. We usually do decorate the basement for any events or any of like the holidays. So our last one was like the Valentine's event, so we made it all themed for that. It was really cute.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, I know we're kind of coming to the end of time here. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share? Or I mean, of course, like, just like if you'd like to introduce like your Twitch channel and when you stream a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I stream twitch.tv/Lori. My Twitter is the same as my name, but it's Legend of Lori. And I stream Tuesday through Fridays, and right now I'm actually replaying through the MSQ for the first time because it's been so long since I've gone through like A Realm Reborn and Stormblood and Heavensward. So I'm replaying everything, and I really don't remember much. So it kind of feels like a new experience. um, and yeah, I think the last thing too that I kind of want to say is that I think for a lot of us, this game has really helped us find community and feel so accepted by people who are like minded. And I just hope that anyone who, is feeling like they're not really right now, like they're not feeling accepted or they're looking for community. Like, I know that everybody memes about the free trial, but really everyone should try Final Fantasy 14. It's especially extremely friendly to anyone who is, looking for that, who's looking for community. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And the best part is if you're looking for community and just want to engage in some of the awesome like social aspects, you can stay on the free trial and just enjoy the game and visit folks and stuff. It's really awesome.
exactly.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. I really appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you take care, Lori.
You too.
Everybody say bye to Lori. We are going to take a quick stretch and hydration break now. So everyone make sure to get up, take a quick stretchy, maybe get a snack and stuff. I super duper appreciate everyone coming in today. We do have links to the Twitters of all the folks we've spoken to so far, and shout outs going off in the chat. And we have 2 more awesome guests who will be sharing their stories after the break. So I will be right back for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll resume around between 7 and 7:05 p.m. EST. We'll resume. So, okay, be right back, friendos. Okie dokie, y'all. Are back. Thank you, everybody that's been hanging out for this show so far. It has been some absolutely incredible stories that we've gotten a chance to hear already. I am going to head back to my personal FC, which is where we will be meeting Theo. So let me head over there real quick. Oh yeah, we have our Pride Gate too. Which I love very much. Always gotta feature the Pride Gate. I think my personal room is still Pride decorated as well. It's kind of interesting, but we'll head over there too. Yeah, this was one of my officers' ideas, and 10 out of 10. Love it. It's one of my faves. Let me check in. We love the gate. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Second. Okay. Sorry, I had to mute the stream first.
Oh, no worries. No worries at all.
Okay. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Do you wanna wait? Is your character at the FC house?
Yeah. Should I come in?
Yeah, go. I just exited for some reason, but feel free to come in.
Okay.
I see.
I'll
Hello.
Hello.
I want to check because I think my personal room is still Pride themed, so I want to go in there.
Okay.
I don't remember which number it is.
Oh, this is really nice.
Oh, thank you. Which number? Oh, it's number 50. If you want to enter personal room number 50.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of cakes in here too. I don't know where that came from, but
Well,
we don't question the rainbow room, y'all.
oh, yeah, that's a lot of cakes.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
we can get cozy
Wow.
in here in the rainbow room.
Okay. Yeah, this is amazing.
Thank you. So do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Name, pronouns, kind of what you kind of do in game and stuff?
Yeah. So, well, my name is Theo. Pronounce he, him. I've been playing 14 seriously since like 3 years ago. I had tried it before that, but dropped it for personal reasons. I am a very casual player, and yeah, the thing I like to do the most with the game is actually, drawing the characters.
Oh, do you you do art?
Yeah, that's the thing I do the most.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Do you go to a lot of like art parties and stuff in game?
I have been to a few, and I have hosted mine for the first time. I think it was a couple months ago.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, no, it's okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna give
You
you.
go ahead.
Well, I'll just go ahead and say I'm gonna give you your first half of things to talk about kind of your story and share your experience as someone who is in the LGBTQI plus community in 14. And then kind of like our other guests after that, we'll kind of just do back and forth questions. So.
Okay. So basically, I am a trans guy. I have come out as a trans guy a little over a year ago now. I grew up not knowing that you could even be trans. Like, I just didn't have the concept. And even when I did find out, I just thought it was like the only possible thing were trans women. I had something click for me when I found out about the existence of trans men 7 years ago, but I just went into denial because I didn't have any support from the people I came out to. I started playing 14 during COVID lockdown 3 years ago. Here where I live, we are not allowed to go outside at all. So my therapist actually suggested that I started playing 14 so I could at least socialize online. I had a very positive experience with the community. Like, not everything is great. Like, there are like less welcoming people, of course, but let's say as a general rule, I had a very positive experience, and I met a lot of other trans people. I think that being able to see it normalized really helped me accepting myself. I started out with a femme mikote, and I remember when I started asking the people in my one of my previous FCs to refer to me and my character as they them, and how nobody questioned it. And I slowly went from identifying as non-binary to realizing I'm a trans guy. And how even when, like, way before I started identifying as a trans guy, I started referring to my character as a guy, even without using a fantasia, and none of my friends questioned it. It made me feel really happy, even if I don't identify as my character, but seeing that he didn't need to pass and I didn't need to pass either, it was really helpful to me. I eventually came out for the first time to a friend that I met in the community as a trans guy. I remember the night I was talking to her and I was crying, and I really thought that I would that nobody could like me or love me if I decided to transition. I was very wrong on my part. I remember that her reaction was, that's wonderful, when I told her I think I might be trans. And yeah, I'm really grateful for her and the fact that 14 allowed me to meet her. And yeah, I met lots of friends that are trans, or like just in the LGBTQ plus community. I also met my current partner because of 14.
That's amazing. How did y'all meet?
Through my art account. on Twitter first. We started talking there, and then we added each other on Discord. And one day I just transferred my character to his server, and been there since.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's always like so cool hearing about couples that meet like around the game or in the community.
Mm.
You feel like you're able to kind of express yourself through your art?
Yeah, I really, really do. And also I make more art for like other people than I do for myself sometimes. And it has really helped me to see how so many of the people like who request art for me are in the LGBTQ plus community. And well, I make art mostly for F14, so usually it's their characters. And I have a few of them like are friends now, and it makes me really happy when they tell me like, I trust you with my character. Like I remember one person, I'm not gonna mention who, that told me that they that I am the person that they trust the most in that sense. Because I remember the first time that I drew the character, they were like a bit self-conscious about the fact that their character had top surgery scars. Um, I don't, I'm just really happy to see how the LGBTQ community helps each other in
Yeah.
seeing each other, you know.
Yeah, no, and I mean that's incredible because like through creating art you're able to like express people's characters and even more like ways that can make them feel more comfortable or like how they imagine the character that represents them in some way.
Yeah, even like sometimes beyond what the game allows.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. What's your like favorite type of art to create?
well, I make I wouldn't say hyper realistic, but I make realistic paintings. Um, yeah, I mostly do that, and yeah, the digital.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but is there like, do you have like a portfolio or something? I would love to like show some of your art on stream since we've been chatting about it.
Oh, well, portfolio.
Or if you just have a piece on Twitter or something. I mean, if you don't have anything that you want to link, but I would love to see it.
That's okay. I'm just looking it up.
Yeah, no, take your time. I'm like, find it right now. That's really cool, though. Thank you for rating on In All. We are doing a podcast
And I'm
right
just
now.
going to link a personal one.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. That works. Where we are chatting with
should
some
I link
14
it
folks.
to you directly first?
Yeah, go ahead and link
Yeah.
it in Discord, and then I can pull it up on stream.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a drawing I made of my character and how I see him.
Oh, wow. I love the colors. Let me bring it up.
It doesn't look very different than he looks in game.
Oh, I messed up. One sec.
Oh, that's so big.
It's okay. I can size it down.
That's okay. It's okay.
It's big resolution.
I am sorry.
No, no. Oh gosh, what? This is me. Technical difficulties.
That's okay.
It's so pretty. The hair. Yeah, we're just zooming in on the hair. We saw a sneaky peeky. So this is some big. So is this is your character?
Yeah, that's my character.
Wow, that's
It's
awesome.
it's him. I love him very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have like lore for your character?
Hmm? Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, no problem. Do you have like a background or like lore for your character?
Yes, I do. It has, I mean, nothing to do with me or my personal story, as he is not me. But yeah, I do have a story for him. Um, so, do you want me to tell his
Yeah,
story?
I'd love to hear about it.
Okay. Yeah. So his story is he was abandoned by his parents. And he grew up feral for some time as a child, and then he was found by an Arcasadara and adopted by him. And yeah, he grew up in Tabne. And that's pretty much it.
Oh, that's awesome. I always love hearing about like the
Yeah.
background stories folks have for their characters. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing your beautiful art as well.
Thank you. Yeah, he pretty much went through the same process as me, identifying as non-binary first, and then as a trans man.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's how I fit in my head the fact that his previous model that he looked the same as now, just the other gender's model in game. Yeah, I just say that after he took the Fantasia, he basically went on HRT.
We need Fantasias in real life.
That would be awesome.
It'll make everything a lot easier.
Yeah, it would.
No, that's amazing though. And I really loved in your story, especially how you highlighted the fact that you were able to kind of change your character's pronouns and who your character identified as and just be accepted without even having to like change how they look. Like that means a lot because it can be really hard, I know, for folks to feel comfortable taking that step.
Yeah, it took me a while to use the Fantasia on him. I don't know for what reason. I just really like how he looked like, and to me he was a man, and he is a man. He always been a man. And that didn't matter what he looked like. And it really helped me to come to terms with the fact that at the beginning of your transition you don't pass. And that's okay. I am who I am, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And I'm glad you had such good experiences with people in game. Thank you for sharing your story, sharing your art, and your wonderful character with us.
Thank you.
It's awesome, and we're so lucky to have you share. Do you have anything? So, do you take commissions, or do you mostly do personal art?
I mostly do commissions.
Oh yeah, so you do take commissions?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, we have your Twitter linked in the chat, and if you want to talk about some of the commissions that you do, that would be awesome.
To talk about them like now?
Yeah, just kind of like shout yourself out, I guess.
I wasn't planning on that, but yeah, there's not much to say. I open slots from time to time. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm sure folks can follow your Twitter.
Yeah. What?
I was just saying, I'm assuming folks can follow your Twitter to see when you like open slots and stuff. Sounds good. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on, Theo.
Thank you.
Take care.
It was a pleasure. You too.
Yay, that was wonderful. Okie dokie. So we will be going into our final guest now. Give me one moment, friendos. Let me wave goodbye to Thea. I know they are in the chat, so you can see your messages, and their fiancés in the chat too if you want to say thank you and bye. You're in Charlian? Okay, I'm coming to Charlian. Feel free to hop in voice whenever. This will be our final guest that we're going to chat with. Thank you all for joining us on this journey. It has been really amazing. Everyone's stories.
Hey, hey.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can, yes.
Perfect.
Why did I go to Labyrinthos again? Oh no, I didn't. I went to
Okay.
Charlotte. Okay.
It'd be funny if you did.
You are a little quiet. Are you able to turn yourself up at all?
Can you hear me okay now?
Oh yeah, it's much better now.
Okay.
It may have just been microphone positioning.
Yeah.
Are you by the Aetherite or somewhere else?
I'm down by the last stand, so.
Okay, I'm headed over there.
Yippee.
In the meantime, would you like to kind of introduce yourself to start out?
Yeah, sure. So, I'm Ren. My Twitter handle is Biotree. My pronouns are he, him, and I've been playing Final Fantasy since about like early 2020. But I've also been a lifelong player of Final Fantasy games. And my cousin was actually one of the beta testers for 2.0. So 14 has been on my radar for, I want to say, like, since 2012. Oh, hey.
Hello.
But yeah, it's been on my radar since he beta tested it back in, I want to say, like 2012, 2013. As for where I fit on the LGBTQIA spectrum, I fit in a couple demographics. In terms of my sexuality, I'm technically pansexual, but for anybody that, anybody that doesn't know, that's basically like you can love anybody regardless of gender. But as I've gotten older, I've found out that my sexuality hasn't really been static. And over the years, I've been kind of arcing towards a stronger attachment to men and masculine aligned people. So these days, I identify as Achillean. So it's kind of just like an umbrella term for men who love other men. I'm also demisexual and demi-romantic, kind of like a couple other people have mentioned in the stream. I don't experience primary attraction, so it's just basically like anybody that I've formed a personal attachment to. I can feel attraction to, but not like, say we were like in a bar and like the most beautiful man walks in, like I can't feel anything for somebody that I don't know. And lastly, I'm queer and intersex. I've been kind of swimming in the gender soup for some time. I knew my whole life that I was like queer and gay, but I only really like fully accepted that when I was about 17 years old, and I came out to my mom when I was like 18. So I'm kind of not like the other speakers that have, I guess, like fully accepted themselves when they were playing the game. But in terms of being intersex, I kind of also always knew that I was like not quite in the endosex male or endosex female box. And I got that diagnosis in adulthood. And yeah, it's really cool because the Vera lore kind of goes into being intersex a little bit more. Like all of the Vera children are born intersex. And they're only like later differentiated, I think, when they hit puberty at around like 13 years old. So I really connected with that aspect of the story.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't play 14, the Viera are the bunny characters in the game, the bunny race that Ren plays.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really cool lore.
Yeah, it's cool how like this game has like little bits here and there. And also just want to echo from It Gets Better and your introduction that it is really just more proof that you can change your labels over time as you figure out more about yourself. You're not locked into any identity that you feel is right, you know, at any given time. We're all changing and understanding ourselves better day by day. So
yeah. It's definitely that way, especially because I'm kind of like in a niche pocket of the Final Fantasy XIV community where it's like I have a lot of friends who are Grahan likers, And so like I want to say a majority of us are not straight or heterosexual, and we fit somewhere on the LGBTQIA like spectrum. So I kind of get to see like an even more, I guess, like niche LGBTQIA like portion of the community. Because we have this joke that it's like Graha is kind of like the gayanator. He hits you with a gay beam, and you just realize it.
It's like Ishtola and Graha together hitting different folks.
It's really true though. Like they posted the Final Fantasy 14 what was it, the account, they like posted like, oh, it's like Pet Your Cat Day, but it was like the amount of like LGBTQ people that were like quote retweeting them.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That just made me realize I didn't even take out my Ishtola cat when we were talking about Ishtola. Wait. Oh, I just
Oh my
froze my
God.
VTuber.
No.
Oh, wait. I became Well, this works.
Wait, what happened?
I have my Graha costume on.
Oh my God. That's so cute.
My
Okay.
my character in my VTuber is kind of, her background is that she's like a cosplayer, so I have some like costumes of some of the various in-game characters.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I love her double set of ears.
I know people are always like, how do those ears move? And I'm like, magic.
It's magic.
It's magic.
Doesn't need an explanation.
The echo. So yeah, just like our guests before, I'd love to give you, some time to kind of share your experiences and story. I know you shared in your introduction a bit, but you can really go anywhere with it, positive, negative, kind of just like the experiences that you've had in the game as a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. So
Yeah, so I want to say that my experience has been mostly positive. There have been some bad eggs here and there, but like for most part, it is positive because of the fact that like I said, I kind of am surrounded by a lot of like really cool people that are LGBTQIA. And so like when you get those few bigoted people that come out every once in a while, like the response to them tends to be very negative, and they know very quickly that it's not really accepted. So it's like you get the sense that everybody has each other's backs. Like my I want to say my community isn't so much like in game. Like I don't have a dedicated FC or something like that. But mostly my community is more like on Twitter and like off of Twitter. Also the like Discords that I'm in. So like for the most part, like the communities that I've been in have been really accepting. And it's kind of like Nari was saying earlier, where it's like we're all intolerant of the intolerant, and there's not a whole lot of room for people to be like unwelcoming. So like for the most part, I think like I am in one FC that I'm only a part of sometimes, Adios Amigos FC, and that one's like a very queer FC. Same thing with my Graha FC over on Materia. Like we're all like very queer, and or if you're not, like there's a lot of allies there. So yeah, it's been a mostly like good experience. I think one of the biggest parts of like how accepting this community is because that people can kind of like have a proxy, and even if like people's warriors of light are not necessarily like an extension of them, or like not like a self-insert, I should say, it's still like an extension of them, and people are able to explore their gender in a way that they might not be able to do like online or offline, like in real life, because of things like bigotry, or like you don't know who's around you. And there's also that aspect of like, if I present my authentic self, like am I going to be in harm, or in harm's way? I'm also kind of that way where I'm like selectively closeted in real life. It really depends. Like at work, I don't say anything about like being gay. I don't say anything about it being intersex. It's kind of just like I don't, like if they don't ask, I don't tell. So I've never really felt that way like in this community, and I've been in like playing other games as well. Like I used to play League, very toxic, but like as soon as I started playing this game, like you can very much tell that like it's a very different environment here, and everybody's just like cool. Like if you're intersex, or if you're queer, or if you're gay or lesbian, like it really doesn't matter. Like people are fine. with whoever you are, and they're like fine, I guess like respecting your identity, if you're queer or trans. So it's been a good environment to be like around here, just because anybody can, I guess, like present themselves as who they want to be, or they can experiment, they can throw a fantasia on their character, and they can become someone else the next day. Like they can really go ham and do whatever they want to, and the glams and stuff. It's especially with them like gender unlocking a lot of the clothes now. You can really wear anything you want, do anything you want, and like have a proxy to explore. Sorry if I rambled. It's kind of a mix. So he's definitely not like a self-insert for me, but he definitely fits all of the same like big demographics that I fit into. So he's also Achillean, he's also intersex, um, and like he's not who I am. Like we're not the same people, and we have different personalities. But like being able to, I guess, like see a warrior of light in the same demographics that normally don't get representation, um, is big for me. You know, like it's really cool to see like the savior of the universe or so, be somebody who like fits into that same demographic as I do. Um, and like people usually say, oh, if you want representation, go and make it. Well, this game kind of lets you do that. Like even if your character isn't you, like they give you representation. So I
Yeah.
think that's really neat, yeah. And it's something that like, especially like we mentioned earlier, like the Viera being intersex like canonically, that's neat to me.
Yeah, 100%. And I just want to apologize. I was muted when I asked that question.
Oh, you're good.
I just asked Ren if their character was more of like a representation of themselves or if it was a separate character, just because I think we've had some really awesome conversations about what that can kind of look like and how like even if your character isn't necessarily you, you can still explore your identity, gender, things like that, like within the character you create.
Yeah, it's just really neat. Like it's great how much they like. I'm excited because I don't want to give any spoilers if people haven't done the last patch, but it sounds like we might be getting some Vera lore in the future. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to see where that leads.
Have you I guess since they came out, have you always been a viewer, or what race did you play before that?
So actually my first Warrior of Light was like this super butch, like lesbian girl. Like I've had, I think 4 warriors across the years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first one was, and that's kind of like, she's kind of like the best, I guess, representation of what I mean when I say like kind of being able to create a character that like doesn't fit the mold of like what is traditionally female or male, or like a woman or a man. I used the what was it, the masculine Alram model for her, because I like pictured her as like a really butch like girl.
Yeah.
And like I used a masculine model, and then she was still able to wear like a lot of the clothing that she would have normally worn. So that was neat. And then the second one that I created was a like a male Mikote. And then the third one was a Viera, like female. And then of course this is my fourth one, which is I guess like my favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is really cool speaking with Theo as well about how like, you know, you're not really limited. Like you can choose like a masculine or feminine model and still identify as like female, male. However you want to like identify your character, you can really like build them into who you want. And they are slowly letting us wear what outfits we want on the different
Right.
models.
I know. I'm like, if they will just stop giving like the girls the shorts and then
Yeah.
like giving the guys the pants. be great.
Yeah, slowly we're getting more, you know, they are going back and like retroactively making some of the stuff wearable by both
Yeah,
the
true.
the masculine and feminine models, which is really nice, and hopefully they do more.
Right, yeah. It'll be nice when like they finally get everything on gender lock, which hopefully they will have done
Hmm.
by like at least like an expansion in like maybe 7.0 or something. But
Yeah, 100%. We can hope.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean like it's been a really like a nice community to be in. I've played a lot of other games where it's like I've never been so I guess like attached to the community so much. Um, just because like there wasn't too much of a reason to get attached. Like you'd meet really cool people, but not so much in terms of like being able to like build personal relationships with people and connect over big things like identity and like finding out if you're queer. And I won't name names, but I have had a couple friends who are like close friends who went from like thinking they were like either straight or they were cisgendered, and then realizing that they really weren't, um, and kind of like adopting their new pronouns, and seeing like that, I guess like that progression of them like playing this game and then like changing their like model in game and then like changing their name in game and then like adopting like new pronouns like in real life. It's really cool. So I don't think I've ever been a part of a community that does that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, me neither, honestly. I mean, I also have been part of a lot of different online communities, and it really is special in 14, the kind of like acceptance and inclusivity that you see.
Yeah, it's true.
Have you had any like kind of experiences that stick out to you as like kind of a representation of that from your own like time in the game yourself?
Yeah, so like I want to say that like we have I guess like pockets of players that like we kind of I don't want to say stereotype, but we kind of like have an inside joke that like oh well like all like male Hrothgars are like gay. But and I do some raiding as well. And so like I actually met like a really cool like group of Hrothgars that like I met only through the game, not even on Twitter or anything. And like I started raiding with him a little bit, and it like was such a cool experience because I raided in the past, and I still raid with other people that are like LGBTQ, but it was like such a like niche, I guess like pocket community of like we're all gay like guys here, and like I don't like know how to describe it other than that it was just like a really good feeling, um, because there's no like judgment, and you don't have to worry about like if your like niche joke in your own community as a gay man is gonna land because like all of you are gay men, so it's just cool like being able to connect with people like that.
That is super cool. I love Hrothgar players.
Same, same.
I don't know if I've met a Hrothgar that I didn't like, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're funny. They're really funny. But yeah, we
Um,
were doing Uwu Prog, and yeah, it was a little crazy. We
yeah.
died in some crazy ways, yeah.
Did y'all end up clearing?
Oh, we actually didn't. No, we had to disband a bit. Just like a bit before, I think, the last, or actually it was like the last phase we had to disband. Just because we kind of like had scheduling conflicts. But
Ah, that's always so
yeah,
rough with like work and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. But it was really fun while it lasted. Like definitely, I want to say that like raiding with queer people and like people in the LGBTQIA spectrum is like the most fun because like obviously everybody's taking it seriously, but like you feel like the chemistry just feels a lot better. You know?
Mm-hmm. No, and it totally makes
So,
sense, like jokes landing and stuff. I mean, we all have different experiences, and to be able to kind of like share in a space with folks who may have had like some similar experiences as you is can be really important.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm just happy
Absolutely.
that I'm able to like come into this community every single day and like talk to people that are like so I guess like-minded. Because I don't know if I don't think I've mentioned this, but like some people may know that I'm a student outside and I'm pursuing the medical degree. Um, and it's I guess like you never know like if who you're talking to is going to be accepting of you. And like I am very privileged to live in California and in LA, no less. So it tends to be a little bit more welcoming than say some other places, but like you never really know who's around you. And being able to like come home like put aside your classwork or whatever that you're working on, and then like play the game and like know that you're in a place that people accept you is just nice.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally relate to that 100%. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. Do you have any final things you'd like to add in, or anything that you'd like to share about content you create, or your Twitter maybe?
Yeah, I create like motion. Well, I guess like that's one thing is that I create like visual novels and G poses for kind of the queer audience. Like most of my, I guess like I don't really want to call it content, but like the visual novels and like G poses that I do are featuring Girl Hatia and my Warrior of Light. And so it's all like for like the masculine gay gaze. So if you want to check it out, you can.
And go follow on Twitter, y'all.
Thank you
Well,
for
thank
having me.
you.
I really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Yeah,
Absolutely. You take care.
you too.
And that was Ren, y'all. That was our final guest. I really appreciate everyone, our 4 guests, for coming on, everyone who took time to tune in and watch today. This was genuinely so freaking awesome. Hearing everyone's stories and just seeing like the different stories that folks were able to share. And I appreciate y'all watching the first stream of Digital Pride. If you missed the opening earlier, this is the It Gets Better Project's 4th annual It Gets Better, a Digital Pride experience, which is a series of Pride streams on both Twitch and TikTok for LGBTQ plus youth who may not be able to celebrate Pride in person. The VODs are going to be up, so if you want to share the cast with friends, or you want to watch it back later if you didn't catch the beginning or something like that, you can go back and check out the VOD. Also, make sure to tune in next Thursday and all the Thursdays in June at 6 p.m. Eastern for the other Digital Pride plans. And follow the channel if you want to catch up with some of the It Gets Better Project ambassadors who will be streaming some gaming and other stuff throughout the month as well. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to highlight the 14 community. I'm super duper proud of how inclusive and amazing the community is. So to be able to like uplift that and highlight 4 amazing individuals just means the world to me. So yeah, it's and we have 3 more Digital Pride experiences. Next Thursday is Drag Story Hour, a chat with authors of LGBTQ plus stories as well, and then art from our youth voice, which sounds awesome. So yeah, pop in on June 15th for Drag Queen Story Hour. And thank you all for joining in today. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll have a heckin' wonderful weekend, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, friends. I hope everyone takes care.